is Tony, and you are watching Faith in Coffee Bean. Hey, if you're a coffee geek like me, this is a cool place to hang out. This is a very new channel. This is my coffee corner in my home office. I am a complete coffee geek, as you can see here. I take making coffee very serious, but I also like finding coffee tools and coffee stuff on a budget. I don't like breaking the bank. That's all it comes down to. So if you're like me, definitely subscribe. I appreciate your support, and that's a good thing. Make sure you leave a comment below and like this video. All typical YouTubey stuff, but I really do appreciate everyone so much. I need some coffee. It's the middle of the day. In my day job, I am an insurance manager for an department for an insurance company, and y'all, I need that extra boost. Having a busy day. I don't know about you. I am going to be making some pour over coffee. I just recently picked up this coffee on Amazon. After this video is live, I'll put a description, or if you are watching this live, you can go into the description, and I have my Amazon storefront with all this is on there and a bunch of other stuff. A bunch of cool stuff. Anytime you make a purchase on Amazon, and you use one, just help support the channel, so I definitely appreciate that. But I got this coffee, and it was really good. I went ahead and did a shot of espresso. Had a really good result. I've actually made quite a few big, giant cups of espresso, and it's been really, really good. The one thing I've noticed, though, it doesn't make a whole crazy amount of crema, but I know this would be really good in a pour-over, and that's the one thing I haven't tried. So I'm going to go ahead today. I've got my Chemex style pour-over system here, and we are going to beans and make some coffee, y'all, because it is time for coffee. I don't know about you. Like I said, middle of the day, I need some coffee. Have you ever had one of those calls where someone's really upset? I don't know if you've ever worked in a call center before. Well, sometimes, yeah, it's just nice. You got to relax. You got to walk away. It's a healthy thing to walk away sometimes and take a little bit of a breath. And y'all, that's what I'm doing right now. I'll go ahead, and since I'm doing a pour over, I'm thinking about 23 grams is right where I'm at, 24 almost. Let's see if I could just go just a little tiny bit above. Oh yeah, 24. Perfect. I am going to be using a V60 per filter, even though I'm not using a V60. And I am going to be doing this pour over style, so definitely cool. And I'm going to wet the beans here. Today I'm going to be using a hand grinder. I've got my coffee system right here ready to go with the CASABREWS 4700 Pro. And right now I have my grinder set for espresso. And I'm not going to be making espresso. I have the grinder, my time more on 8. Because I'm going to be doing more of a pour over, I want to go coarser. So I'm going to go with something like a 12. So I'm going to go 4 clicks up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay. And let's go ahead and make some magic. Goodness. Yeah, these beans are from Colombia. They're single origin. They have a very chocolatey citrus note to it. The citrus is really high. It's almost like, have you ever had one of those chocolate oranges where it's like a pill or an orange covered in chocolate? That's kind of how this coffee reminds me. I really like the Simi brand. I'm thinking about getting some more. And by the way, if you have a favorite coffee that you love, please share it with me, because I am always on the hunt to find new coffees, y'all. 100%. Especially if it's something I haven't tried. I like to try new stuff and have some fun with it. So right now I'm using the hand grinder. I love my hand grinder. My Timor C3 Pro Chestnut is a daily driver when it comes to grinding. I have been in the market to get an electric grinder here, but I don't pull the trigger, y'all, because I'm pretty cheap. That's the one thing. You know, like I said, follow if you like to find cheap stuff. The thing about the coffee, I mean, coffee hobby, is that you could spend a lot of money buying different gear. A lot of the espresso gear can be pretty expensive, especially the machines, especially a great grinder. And the one thing you're going to hear people say all the time, if you're going to spend money on the grinder, well, this puppy costs about 70, 80 bucks on special. And one of the things that I do love about it is that I did not have to break bank to get something that's really good. And I dig that. So since I'm doing a coarser grind, I'm almost through this already. Wow. I'm so used to grinding for espresso and taking forever. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, guys. And then today I'm fancy pants. Yep, you heard me right. We're going to be fancy pants. I'm going to blind shake my pour over. Did y'all watch one of those latest videos that Lance Hendricks did about should you blind shake over? Well, today we're going to do that. Now, little known fact, actually been doing that pretty much since I've had a blind shaker. It really does help with homogenizing the ground. Everything is good to go. Do you have to do that? No, you don't have to do it. Does it help in the sense that it makes, I think, a better tasting final product? Yeah, 100%. I would agree. So giving this a little shake here. I'm using my MH Bomber shaker. I love what MH is doing. They're awesome. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and get my filter. So I'm just using a traditional V60 filter for this, even though that this isn't a V60 setup. This is more similar to like a Chemex, even though this particular unit is not a Chemex. Chemex is like saying Kleenex or Xerox. It's a brand. And I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I am going to go and wet the paper. I feel so weird saying that. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, it's interesting. There's always a lot of fun little coffee trends out there. Not that making sure you have a clean paper for your filters a coffee trend, but it's interesting. Always, if you're like me, you watch a lot of YouTube, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are way smarter than me, and that are actually, professional coffee in the industry. I actually grew up kind of around the coffee business a bit, but always admired coffee shop owners. Okay, see, clearly this, and y'all, the internet's gonna love this. You gotta love making comments on this stuff. All right, let me go ahead and get rid of the water. But it's just interesting. I love watching all the different coffee trends and all the coffee YouTubers and all that stuff. So you're in good company. My wife is always like, "You're watching another person make coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah." My wife's really into decorating mine. And I'm like, it's the same thing. So let's go ahead. We're actually going to blind shake. Coffee in there. Oh, that's pretty. Very pretty. And just to even out the bed a little bit. And again, that was about 24 grams of coffee. And I'm going to be using my CASABREWS 4700 for my water today. Yeah, I really dig this thing. Super cool. And that's actually having an espresso machine like that. And whoops. Not having to have a kettle. One of the probably should have turned on my dang scale. Oh. Just realized that. I'm like, I put it on the scale and didn't even turn it on. A good skill is the best thing you can buy if they're starting their coffee journey. A lot of folks reach out to me and they're like, hey, what's something here? How should I do it? Get a good scale. And there's a affordable scales. This one I got for about 12 bucks on Amazon. So you can't go wrong with that. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to try this coffee out, pour over style. I have a feeling this is definitely a coffee that's going to make a great pour over. Give it a little agitation here. There's so many cool pour over recipes. Literally, YouTube pour over recipes. Oh my goodness gracious. And I absolutely love using an espresso cup just like this. I mean, it's similar like if you had a gooseneck. And, as far as technique goes, I try to give it time to bloom, try to do more of that pulsating technique. That's kind of the big thing. Got to give your coffee some love. You got to treat your coffee like it's something you get from McDonald's. I'm not hating on McDonald's coffee or any, big name stuff, but it's so cool. A lot of times I'll go to places and I'll have a cup of coffee and I just think to myself, I can make this way better at home. I can make something taste better. I can get a fresh product the way coffee was meant to be. You know, I know I mentioned my Amazon storefront before, but I literally have gotten most of my tools on Amazon or AliExpress. And I kind of really dig how you could support local roasters. There's a lot of local roasters that are putting themselves out on Amazon lately. And I really dig that. And of course, you should always give some love to your actual local brick and mortar roasters. Close to me, I have one that's within 3 or 4 miles, and I try to go by and have a cup, and it is at a shop. I love that energy of a good cafe too. So that, it's like, it's great to make the stuff at home, but it's also about where you get your coffee. So, I mean, I definitely think that's important. Okay, I'm gonna go for about one more or two more of these cups of coffee, and I think we're good on this one. Then we'll pour it and taste it and see how it looks. I love espresso. Espresso is always going to be my number one favorite way to consume coffee. But there's just something to be said about the simplicity and the ease of making a pour over. That just is beyond, in my opinion. And one of my favorite ways to make coffee, though, is the AeroPress. And if you haven't got one of those, they're awesome. Huge, huge fan. It's like 3 or 4 times a week, sometimes daily. I'm going to be honest. All right, this is going to be the last amount of water I'm going to use. Like a good strong cup. I think this is about good right here. I'm going to go for some little agitation. Make sure I've really, so that means everything's been totally extracted as much as it can be. So I'm glad I stopped there because I love to make coffee, like I said. And one of the biggest things in doing that is, I think, is just kind of shaking it up a bit. And sometimes you got to do the pour over. Sometimes you got to do the espresso or the AeroPress. I'm a huge fan of, when this go, the lever machines. I have been using the Flare Neo Flex, and now I think I'm doing science. This is definitely not In my opinion, a beginner's tool. It's more of an advanced tool. But yet I feel like anybody can do it. I was teaching my 16-year-old the other day how to use it with the portafilter. And there's just a lot of cool stuff you can do. I really want to pick up a robot. A lot of folks have been sharing that. And I know Robot just put out a system. There we go. This is why, I know it's fancier not to use a mesh system like this, but so it's not just about doing the fancy pants. It's about but what's easier for your cleanup. So thankfully, that makes cleanup really easy one. And let's get to the good stuff. I'm so excited. Oh man, let's see how this looks. Isn't that beautiful? That's that right color. I hate seeing a light coffee. Now, I don't mean light roast. I mean a light coffee. You got to have a good, thick coffee. Let's give it a little smell. Smells delicious. Oh, yeah. That is what I am talking about. So in case you weren't here in the beginning, I went ahead and brewed some coffee I just picked up. This is the Simi coffee. They're found on Amazon. This bag was literally $6 for half a pound. I love finding stuff at a good value, and I like finding stuff that actually tastes really good. And this is definitely one of them. I'm super excited about this. If you're looking for, go to my Amazon storefront. I have it in this video in the description. Anytime you buy through that, it helps support this channel and helps me buy more beans. So it's just simple. Let me give this one more taste here. Yeah, that's absolutely delicious. What a difference. I pulled a shot on one of my last videos through my espresso machine, and it was really good and awesome. I did notice that it didn't give me a ton of crema. There was still good crema on it. But this, in my opinion, this is a really good way to enjoy this coffee. This is